Hey there, this is Holly's Rockin' Recipes, and I'm Holly, and thanks for checking me out. So today I'm going to be making my perfected Parmesan kale chips. And I call them that because I have finally perfected the way to make kale chips taste amazing and come out perfect every time. I've tried them so many different ways, different temperatures, different times, and I've finally perfected it so that every time I make them, they're fantastic. And also every time I've made them for someone, they've told me that they're absolutely addictive. So it's a great alternative to potato chips for snacking, because everybody knows how incredibly healthy kale is for you. So I will bring you in closer and show you how I turn this into perfected Parmesan kale chips. Okay, so there's a couple different things to do to make sure that the kale chips come out nice and crispy. The first thing is, after you bring it home and wash it, make sure before you bake it that it is really, really dry. Like, I get in there with a paper towel and really dry each piece out. So I like the curly kale because when I sprinkle the Parmesan cheese on it, all those little curls and the texture hold on to the cheese really well. So what I do is I just open it up. I take a really sharp knife and I just cut down the rib and get rid of that really tough stem. And then once that's gone, you have your kale all ready to go, and it's in one big strip. So I kind of break it up. Now it will shrink up a little bit in the oven, so you can do the pieces pretty big because it will shrink, but I do them about that size. And I know they're all nice and dry, which is the most important thing. And then I take my sheet tray. I get cooking spray. It's a non-stick sheet tray. I spray it with the cooking spray. Then I put down my kale pieces. They're nice and clean with the stems removed. And make sure that you don't stack them on top of each other, because what will happen is it'll steam instead of getting nice and crispy, because we want them crispy, almost like a chip. So I'll just keep going on like that until I fill up the tray without overlapping them. Make sure each leaf gets to touch the bottom of the tray. Then I spray them one more time lightly before they go in the oven with the cooking spray on the top. I hit them with a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt, just a tiny bit, because I'm also going to put on Parmesan cheese, which has a lot of salt in it. And I just sprinkle on the Parmesan cheese. And the cooking spray on the top of the kale helps the Parmesan cheese to stick. And like I said, with the curly kale, all that texture and the little curls holds that cheese so well. So when it comes out of the oven, it's nice and crispy and crunchy and cheesy. So I'll just continue on. Get this in the oven on 285 for 30 minutes. So not 275, not 300, 285. That's the other trick that I've learned by trial and error. So I'll get going on this and show you what it looks like when it's done. Now I took the kale chips out of the oven. They baked on 285 for 30 minutes. So you can see they are perfectly crispy and ready to eat. So you will not miss having potato chips after you try these. And the other great thing about these are too, you can flavor them up any way that you want. If you go to the spice aisle at the grocery store, there's tons of different spices and flavorings. I have a bacon molasses. I've sprinkled that on before it's gone in the oven before. Italian seasoning, Cajun seasoning, barbecue seasoning. You can do all kinds of things with it. They are so good. So I'm just gonna take a bite and show you how incredibly crispy they are. So good. Definitely addicting. Perfected Parmesan kale chips. Hey, you want a bite? Even the dog likes them.